Hello, it's Dawn Muir back again with part 2 of Tuesday Tips. We've already looked at one of my favorite programs, Game Plan, and how you can adapt that to physical distancing. And I mentioned in that last video that when you get to grade 4 and 5, because of the focus on recorder and more sophisticated ensemble playing, there's less that you can transfer as easily if you're not allowed to sing or play recorder or play instruments in a large group. So there are some other resources that I took a look at. Again, oldies but goodies, which I've been using in the classroom and which I found to be really easily transferable for grades 5s and 6s especially. Again, oldies but goodies. Artie Almeida, Parachutes and Ribbons and Scarves, Oh My, which are listening lessons with movement props. So again, most of these could be done individually so that there's no touching. A lot of them can be modified. Another great resource by Artie is Kid Sticks, but you would have to collect this. You would have to collect those large cans, coffee cans or spaghetti sauce cans, pasta sauce, small tambourines, and a board. I use really old music books that will never be used again as just flat boards for that as well, and drumsticks or some other kind of sticks. But what she's doing in Kid Sticks is going, it's again listening activities, listening and playing activities. So here you can see literacy happening. She's got charts with the different instruments and how they play along to a wide selection of classical pieces that she's chosen that are really energetic, lots of fun, and I've used it from grade 3 to grade 6, so it's got a wide span of usefulness. So that's Artie Almeida's Kid Sticks, as well as Parachutes, etc. Another really great resource that I've been going back to is called Poetic License by Shea. This is a beginner's composition program, I would say, based on poems. So you're given a poem, that's the rhythms put out there for you as well. The children learn the poem. So great A, little A, bouncing B, the cat's in the cupboard and can't see me. And then you transfer that to 3 notes or 5 notes. I've chosen 3 notes because they're just beginning. It could be 5 notes. And gradually as you progress through the book, by the end, you are using all 7 notes of a diatonic scale. And I've tried this now. I'm trying this with my grade 5s on laptops because we are lucky enough to have access to a class set of laptops in the music room. I have 30 of them in there, 30 or 32 of them at a time. So I am really keen to use laptops as substitutes for instruments, since I have been managing to spread out instruments for a lot of them. But of course, that's a real challenge for a lot of people. So if you have access to computers, there are many great computer programs out there. I'm checking out Band Lab right here that we heard about too, Chrome Lab, lots of other things like that. But again, this is completely simple, and it's just using the laptop as an online keyboard. That's it, just so that they can hear those 3 notes or 5 notes that they're picking. So it's very simple. You don't have to learn how to use any computer program. You just have to know how to log into an online keyboard. And I've been using onlinepianist.com. It has a nice wide keyboard. So that's what I've been using, just so that they have a keyboard on their laptop that they can work through this book. And I would really like to remind you of some other golden oldies, our Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra Teachers Guides that have been produced for years now, many, many years. That's part of a program that we're very lucky to have here in Winnipeg, for those of you who might be looking from outside of Winnipeg. For those of you in Winnipeg, go back to these. Find a colleague that has one. These are listening activities for student concerts that are put on every year by the Symphony. And this guide is sent out for the whole program of usually 12 pieces that are performed for the students, and great listening activities. to prepare the kids for that concert and just to make it more meaningful for them. And I just randomly opened this first one that I found. Here's Polician Dance with Sticks. It's got, of course, you'd have to find an online recording for this, but it's got a word chart explaining, describing how it might sound, and the children can add to that or talk about that word list. It talks using paper plates to keep the beat on this. I've used actually rhythm sticks to actually choreograph a dance using sticks in partners as well. You can do the structure of the dance as well. And of course, there are great listening lines or listening charts that go with a lot of these as well. We've had some fabulous presenters here too of just great ideas for listening exercises. And most of these are things like movement or responding to the chart, the form chart, or easily adaptable to physical distancing. Not a whole lot of just direct instrument playing other than recorder. So I really recommend that you go back to these golden oldies as well. And if you don't have one, maybe borrow one from your colleague. So I hope that's helpful, and hope it encourages you to keep plugging away at a lot of those core things that we do, those golden oldies, to embrace the fact that we get so much more rhythm, especially if we can supplement that with recordings, and also to not to despair about not singing, to just enjoy how we can still do a lot of preparatory work with our humming when it's integrated into the things that we're already doing. So thanks, and have a happy Tuesday.